What it look like, what it be like, what it do, YouTube? This is V coming at you to give you a review on my new Nik Plus. I know I'm a day late and a dollar short on doing this review because there are many other reviews on this particular unit. However, the difference between their reviews and my reviews is I'm giving you it from a female perspective. First, before I get into this review, I want to give a shout out to Free Motion for providing me this wheel. Yes, I did purchase the wheel, and I am in no way, shape, or form being endorsed or paid to give this review. I believe in giving credit where credit is due. Because Free Motion, they have unbeatable pricing, they offer 1-year warranty, they're available day and night, they have access to any wheels, and they will go the extra mile to make sure that their customers are satisfied. So with that being said, let's start this review. When I did the unboxing of my Nik Plus, I noticed because of its width, it did not fit any stands that I had. I had to build a stand for it to sit on, and I made it out of a 1/2-inch PVC piping, and I think it came out pretty decent because I have it seated here. PVC piping, as everyone knows, is kind of slippery, so to give it some stabilization, I have it actually seated in between the two L brackets, but that's neither here nor there. But I noticed in building my stand that around the frame there are 2 cracks. Now, I'm not quite sure if they're cracks or it's by design, because I noticed on the other side, parallel to the cracks or the lines that are in the frame, it mirrors up on the other side. So if you guys that actually have the Nikolas, notice that, and that's part of the makeup of the machine, let me know in the comment section, because I was like ready to send it back. I actually have a photo that I will superimpose in this video to show what it is exactly that I'm referring to. Now, the foot pegs, I guess they are the updated version because it's the black and not the silver. The peg itself is the sandpaper grip. Is not the rubberized padding that came out, I guess, with the first generation. Also, now the fan, which I noticed is not as noisy as some of its predecessors, and watching some of the reviews online, a lot of people that have either the Nik or the Nik Pluses were saying that the fan was quite noisy. However, the fan here, I have not noticed the fan in this particular model making any noise to speak of. Also, which is kind of nice, but I made the grave mistake. The volt reading that each of the Nikolas have, when I initially got it, I thought that was an indication of the percentage of battery life that I had. And needless to say, I went out on a brief ride. Well, I really wouldn't say a brief ride. I went on a ride Sunday with some of my riding group, and I thought I had 89% battery life. However, that was the volts that it was reading. Therefore, I was in the 50% range. Needless to say, I wound up making it back to my car at a slow crawl. The Nik was beeping to high heaven because I was down to 10% battery life and was crawling every bit of, what I'm going to say, 10 miles per hour. Yeah, so at 89% or 89 volts, I was at 50%, and I thought I was at 89% battery life. So that threw me for a loop, the volt indicator. So honest mistake, but that was a learning curve, a quick learning curve for me. Also, when I unboxed the Nik Plus, I must admit, initially I was somewhat intimidated, but I was like, man, I got this, because I'm thinking I'm a OG, and what I mean by OG is I'm thinking that I'm a old glider because I have 2 years of riding time up under my belt. So when I got on her, it basically had me flapping my damn arms like I needed a lifeline thrown to me. And the reason being, I initially thought it was because it's top heavy. It has 3 batteries. One of the batteries up top, and I thought that was the culprit. However, it was not. It was basically, and I took some photos, but I took photos after the fact. The tire tread, the tread in the middle was perforated. In other words, it wasn't flush with the rest of the tire. So you had this thin strip of tire tread that basically had jutted out, and that thin strip was basically what I was riding on. So I'm riding, and the Nick want to go right, I want to go left, and basically for, I want to say, a good 20 minutes of riding, I was bitch slapped into reality because this machine wanted to basically do what it wanted to do on that little thin tread, and I don't even think that tread was like an inch thick or an inch in width. It was more or less like a half an inch. So it was almost like me on an ice skating rink, and I don't ice skate, so imagine that. Also, braking. Because this is like a Bertha, I would want to name her Bertha because she's a big, heavy piece of machinery, and she's about the heaviest piece of machinery that I have going in the EUC category. And braking is like similar to the 18XL for me. However, I'm having to lean back a little bit, more like 180 degree, but I would be embellishing by saying it was actually 180 degree lean, but it actually feels like 180 degree lean because she don't stop on a dime, and it takes a while to stop this machine. At least for me, I'm 130 pounds, so if I'm accelerating beyond a slow crawl, if I'm talking about in the 20s, close to 30s, it's just not going to stop just by me trying to tilt my heels back. No, it's going to take a little bit more than that. Also, turning. Turning with Bertha, basically, I have to use my body. I mean, I have to use every bit. The head, the shoulders, the chest, the hips, the knees, the ankles, lean, do all of that. She just don't, no. That 2 years of EUC riding that I have up under my belt didn't prepare me for this here machine. Yeah, I have to totally lean. It's almost like if you've seen a motorcycle race and they got the knee drag, well, yeah, that's basically what I have to do when I'm riding a Nick at high speeds. I really haven't tried turning her really on a slow speed because this machine is just not made to be ridden slow, if you will. The acceleration. Now the acceleration is put it like this. It's not like the 16X. If anyone has a King Song 16X, yes, this goes faster than the King Song 16X, but the King Song 16X had that low torque where when you just lean, it just goes. This, no, it'll go, but it's you can tell the difference. It's almost, I liken it to a truck, actually. It's so heavy. Now, I didn't have any problems doing hill climbing. I did a slight hill, nothing to write home about. And went up it without a problem, went down on it without a problem. Like I mentioned earlier, I went out for a group ride Sunday, and basically with 50% battery life, I was balling. When we were going through trails and curves, winding trails, and yeah, again, I had to do the knee drag to turn it, but nothing that I couldn't handle. Like I said, the first day I got on it, it took every bit, I want to say, 20 minutes to really get acclimated with riding the Nik Plus, because nothing that I've ridden thus far prepared me for what I was embarking upon on riding the Nik Plus. Actually, I'm glad I waited to purchase it, because 2 months ago it was a toss-up between the 16X and the Nik Plus. But in waiting, it paid out for me because of some of the slight upgrades that was made to the machine. But other than that, I'm quite satisfied with it. I can't wait to really take it out on my group rides. Actually, it will come in handy when I do recordings of rides. I basically ride, and I do have an MSX, and now that I have the Nik Plus, I can capture some of those riders that tend to want to do high speed. Not to say that we don't do high speed, but we're limited. Majority of my group is limited because most of us have King Song wheels, and everyone knows King Songs, they're limited in how fast they can go. And every now and again we'll have some guys that will have Gotways, so this will come in handy to basically get those nice shots of some of the guys that ride the Gotways. But other than that, guys, I will be doing a giveaway next month on these Aully Park shades. I believe Marty had recommended these in one of his videos, I believe, and I actually purchased these. However, I'm not liking them. I don't like the way they fit, but nonetheless, I'm going to do a giveaway, and the details will follow. But they're pretty neat though, because you have 4 different lenses you can swap out the shades for. So it's unfortunate, but yeah. So they're brand new. So stay tuned for the details to follow. But until next time, guys, deuces.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you like if you will.